Imagine living in a world where one of every four people is unemployed. No access to money, homeless people wandering streets, starving to death. Political and social order collapsed, and chaos reigns supreme. How dreadful that world would be. What if I say the world had to face such a situation, and that too for a decade? Millions of people had to face the extreme horror of the Great Depression, a dark stain on human history till date.
1929. The financial house of cards collapses, and the overinflated stock market plunges into a Great Depression.
The Great Depression was the worst economic downturn in the history of the industrialized world, lasting from 1929 to the late 1930s. It began in the United States after a stock market crash on 29 October 1929, known as Black Thursday. The crash wiped out millions of dollars in investor wealth and led to a wave of bank failures. But how did all this happen? The Great Depression was a complex event with many causes. Some of them include overproduction. In the 1920s, businesses produced more goods than consumers could afford to buy. This led to a buildup of inventory and falling prices. Underconsumption. Wages did not keep pace with economic growth in the 1920s, leaving consumers with less money to spend. Speculation. Investors borrowed heavily to buy stocks in the 1920s, driving up stock prices to unsustainable levels. When the stock market crashed in 1929, investors lost billions of dollars. Bank failures. Bank failures were a major cause of the Great Depression. When banks failed, people lost their savings and businesses lost their access to credit. The gold standard. The gold standard was a system under which the value of currencies was pegged to the value of gold. This made it difficult for the governments to stimulate their economies during the Depression. Some of the major events that led to the Great Depression include stock market crash of 1929. The Wall Street crash of 1929 was a major American stock market crash that wiped out billions of dollars in investor wealth. The crash, which followed the London Stock Exchange's crash of September, signaled the beginning of the Great Depression. The growth of predatory mortgage lending, unregulated markets, a massive amount of consumer debt, the creation of toxic assets, the collapse of home prices, etc., were some of the major contributors to this crash. Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act was a protectionist trade law that raised tariffs on imported goods. This led to a decrease in international trade and made the Great Depression worse. Banking crisis of 1933. The banking crisis of 1933 was a major event that deepened the Great Depression. The crisis led to a loss of confidence in the banking system and a wave of bank withdrawals.
For the majority, it means the interminable line outside factory gates, desperately hoping for a job that rarely comes. It means hunger.
The Great Depression caused severe problems and economic crisis all over the world. Some of them include mass unemployment, bank failures, deflation, homelessness, hunger and malnutrition, social unrest, and political extremism. The Great Depression ended in 1939 after the government took the necessary steps to stimulate their economies and provide relief to the unemployed. The Great Depression was a devastating event that had a profound impact on the world. It is important to remember the causes and events that led to the Great Depression so that we can prevent a similar economic crisis from happening in the future.